title, The Joe Rogan Experience. In the quirky podcast studio of The Joe Rogan Experience, a bizarre atmosphere unfolded, turning my usual recording session into a slapstick ghost story. As I delved into my guests' tales, a mischievous whisper, reminiscent of a misbehaving poltergeist, tickled my ears through the headphones. Trying to maintain my cool, I shrugged off the spectral shenanigans, blaming it on a ghost with a penchant for stand-up comedy. The studio lights flickered like a dimly lit comedy club, casting exaggerated shadows that mimicked an invisible improv troupe. My guests, unaware of the supernatural sitcom unfolding around them, shared tales of UFO encounters and cryptid capers. Little did they know, their stories were becoming punchlines in the cosmic comedy special that was now my reality. As the whispers graduated to ghostly guffaws and guttural giggles, I exchanged bemused glances with my guests. Their eyes sparkled with an otherworldly wit, and the once serious stories took on a comedic twist. It was like the universe itself had decided to try stand-up, and I was the unwitting host. Attempting to roll with the spectral punches, I reached for the control panel, only to find it playing a prank of its own. Buttons danced under my fingertips, creating a cacophony of sound effects that would make a sitcom laugh track jealous. The studio door, my supposed escape route, let out a sarcastic creak, sealing shut with a comedic timing that would make any sitcom director proud. Trapped in a sitcom meets horror mashup, I felt like the protagonist of a cosmic sitcom gone awry. The whispers turned into exaggerated cries, blending with the slapstick growls that reverberated through the haunted hilarity. It was a supernatural sitcom of epic proportions, and I was stuck in the middle of the weirdest episode ever. As the final guest delivered their revelation, it was less a spooky tale and more a punchline that would make a ghostly comedian proud. The studio itself seemed to transform into a quirky comedy club, complete with cosmic one-liners and spectral pratfalls. The walls, no longer intimidating, wobbled like a poorly constructed sitcom set. In a desperate attempt to regain control of the laughable chaos, I reached for the microphone, my voice joining the spectral stand-up routine. The once familiar surroundings warped into a surreal comedy special, where the line between reality and absurdity blurred. The ghosts, it seemed, had a flair for improv that surpassed the boundaries of the living. In the midst of the supernatural hilarity, I confronted the source of the spectral silliness, a ghostly figure donned in a comically oversized sheet. Its eyes gleamed with an otherworldly mischief as it gestured wildly, orchestrating the cosmic comedy unfolding around me. As the figure approached, the studio's walls performed a slapstick routine of their own, closing in with a comedic exaggeration. I was caught in a cosmic pie-throwing contest, unable to escape the ghostly absurdity that now defined my reality. In that moment, I realized I had become the straight-faced comedian in a cosmic comedy club, the unwitting host of a stand-up special for ghosts. The guests, now spectral comedians, delivered punchlines that echoed with supernatural wit, their voices carrying the weight of comedic knowledge and absurd horror. The ghostly figure spoke not in ominous tones but in a comedic cadence that transcended the limits of mortal humor. It revealed a tale of ancient pranks, forgotten punchlines, and a mischievousness that had lurked in the shadows of cosmic existence since time immemorial. The studio, it seemed, was a stage, a grandstand for the comedic energies that thrived on laughter and absurdity. As the revelation unfolded, the studio itself seemed to dissolve into a cosmic comedy special. I stood at the center of a surreal reality, where the boundaries of humor extended far beyond the reaches of human understanding. With a final, echoing rimshot, the ghostly figure vanished, leaving me alone in the absurdity. The studio, now devoid of spectral silliness, returned to its mundane state. The lights flickered back on, casting the room in a harsh, exaggerated glow. The microphone and control panel, once instruments of cosmic comedy, now seemed like props from a bizarre sitcom set. I stumbled out of the studio, still chuckling at the absurdity I had endured. The guests, too, emerged from the spectral hilarity, their eyes no longer reflecting the otherworldly gleam. It was as if the cosmic comedy show had wrapped, and yet, the memory lingered like the punchline to the weirdest joke in the universe. The Joe Rogan Experience continued, seemingly unchanged to the outside world. But I, the accidental comedian of this paranormal sitcom, knew that the studio held secrets that transcended the realm of human understanding. The horror I had witnessed was not a nightmare-inducing podcast episode, it was a cosmic comedy routine that had forever altered the trajectory of my reality, leaving me with the punchline of a lifetime.
Hey, horror enthusiasts! If you've been enjoying the bone-chilling tales and heart-pounding stories we've been sharing, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button below. Join our community of thrill seekers who can't get enough of the dark and mysterious. By subscribing, you're ensuring that you never miss out on the next spine-tingling tale. Trust me, you won't want to be in the dark when the next horror story drops. Hit subscribe and let the nightmares begin.